Welcome to the audiobook version of Be the Captain. If you're anything like me, you've probably listened to hundreds of audiobooks. I love the classics, Treasure Island, Count of Monte Cristo, which I've listened to way too many times, The Old Man and the Sea, but I also get completely lost in fantasy. Tolkien, Sanderson, that kind of stuff. This book isn't like those. I'm not taking you to a faraway kingdom. I'm taking you offshore, into the real world, into my world. Picture this. We're in the cockpit. Maybe we've just reefed down for the night. The stars are just starting to come out. Maybe it's your first night watch. Maybe it's your 10th. Either way, I'm handing you the helm. In this audiobook, we've got about 8 hours together. In that time, I want to tell you some stories and pass you some knowledge that comes only from miles under the keel. The print version of Be the Captain was built as a reference book. It's straightforward, easy to flip through when something breaks offshore, but this version, I hope, is going to be more captivating. I've gotten room to riff. I'll tell you how things really felt. I might swear. I'll probably go on a few tangents, and I'll share some of the stories that didn't make the final cut. But everything in here is something I wish someone had told me 25 years ago when I started sailing. And to be honest, this whole thing started in a moment of total chaos. I had just finished my 4th Pacific crossing, Galapagos, Easter Island for the second time. I made landfall in Marquesas, dropped the anchor, locked up the boat, and immediately got on a plane and flew home to my very pregnant girlfriend. And 2 hours after I walked through the front door, Anna went into labor. It was amazing. It wasn't at a hospital. It was fast, raw, and real. And before I could even catch my breath, Luna, my daughter, was in my arms. It was beautiful, and it changed everything. What followed was the stillest month of my life. No motion, no deliveries, no boat work, nothing broken. Just land, diapers, and this quiet sense of, what now? I wasn't working. I had just come off months at sea, and suddenly I was grounded. So I started writing. This book became my outlet, a way to take everything I've learned offshore and give back to the people who might need it most. You. So no, this isn't just a manual. This is my story. And maybe, just maybe, it will help you write yours. Welcome aboard. Let's get into it. Be the Captain, a field manual, written by James Evenson. Dedicated to the wanderers, to the sailors who haven't left, and the ones who never came back. This is what I wish someone had told me 25 years ago. Chapter 1. Think Like a Captain. This is not a book about sailing. It's about command. It's not about buying gear, chasing trends, or showing off some dream lifestyle. This is about something more profound, something older. The kind of knowledge passed down between sailors over campfires, on night watches, and in the quiet moments out to sea when the ocean has finally gone still. When the wind builds, the gear breaks, and your crew looks at you for the answer, this is what you need to know. Because if you're here, this is the beginning of 2 significant relationships in your life. The first is your relationship with your boat. She won't be a thing, not for long. She'll become your protector, your teacher, your shelter. You'll sleep inside her, you'll sweat over her systems, talk to her hull, and listen to her when something doesn't sound quite right, because she will talk back. You need to learn to listen to her. You'll know when she needs attention, when she's being pushed too hard. You'll know when she's happy and when she's hurting. For thousands of years, sailors have referred to boats as women, and for good reason. The feminine energy is nurturing, protective, and powerful. She will give everything she has to cradle you safely through the worst storm you've ever experienced on the ocean. But she demands care. She demands respect. She demands attention. If you ignore her, she'll let you know. If you neglect her, she'll push back. And if you mistreat her, she will break, and you may break with her. The second relationship you're about to start is with the ocean. The sea doesn't care about your comfort, your confidence, or your dreams. It isn't malicious, it's just indifferent. But it will test every weakness without hesitation. And in that indifference, there is both danger and beauty. Because nothing out here is personal. You either rise to meet the sea as you are, or you don't. This is where we start. Not with tools or techniques, but with the mindset of the captain. Because the moment you decide to sail offshore, you are the captain. Before you buy the boat, before you cast off the lines, before you know half of what you need to know, you are the captain. And the truth is, if you don't claim that role, someone else will. Your crew, your partner, your dock neighbor. Out here, hesitation is danger. Indecision is risk. Human beings are wired to lead or follow. If you falter in a moment of crisis, someone else will step up, and it may not be the right person. This is why you must be the captain. Even if you don't know the answer, you lead the conversation. You get input. You make the decision. This is leadership offshore. That's the job. This is not a place for perfect people. It's a place for people who keep going when it's not perfect. Confidence out here isn't about ego. It's about humility. It's being able to say, I don't know yet, but I'll find out. It's taking responsibility for the outcome, even if you didn't cause the problem. It's knowing that once you're offshore, no one is coming to save you. But that's okay, because you've trained for this. You built this. You practiced this. You've got this. You don't get to practice courage in the calm. Life doesn't work that way. You practice it in chaos. This book can help you prepare for those moments. To me, there are two ways to write a book like this. Option one, play it safe. Be polite. Choose every word carefully so you don't upset anyone. Think twice because your opinion may offend or alienate half your readers. This is the path for maximum marketability. Lowest risk, highest potential profit, and fewest angry reviews. Or option two, be bold. Say what you truly think, not what you think sells. Don't write like you're trying to win over a book club. Write like you're in the middle of the ocean, yelling across the cockpit during a squall. No filter, no sugarcoating, just your truth as you've lived it. This isn't the curated Instagram version. It's the part where your hands are bleeding, your autopilot's dead, and you're trying to figure out if a bungee cord can hold the helm for the next 1,200 miles. Spoiler, it can. See Chapter 6E. You may not agree with everything I say, and that's fine. Take what you can, leave what doesn't serve you. Every word in this book is my honest opinion. It may challenge your current thought process, and that's good. We don't grow by nodding along. We grow by getting uncomfortable, hearing hard truths, and sometimes, if we keep our minds open, coming across something that changes the way we think. This isn't theory, it's experience. And here's mine. I've logged over 85,000 miles as captain, under sail, chasing weather windows and fighting gear failures. It's actually more than that now. I've had a couple deliveries since I wrote this book. Deliveries, passages, breakages, storms, calms. I've lived through all of it, and I've lived aboard sailboats full time for 18 years on many different boats, from a leaky Catalina 27 to a majestic 48-foot oyster. Along the way, I've made landfall in some of the hardest to reach places on Earth. Easter Island, twice, like I mentioned. Pitcairn, which was amazing. Try to go if you can. And even more remote specks of dirt most people will only ever see on a chart. Before that, I spent nearly 60,000 nautical miles underwater navigating U.S. Navy submarines. GPS doesn't work underwater. Radios don't work underwater either. Neither does Google. Just paper charts and dead reckoning. We were not allowed to get it wrong. That experience taught me three things. Preparation is key to a good passage. Maintenance in port keeps the gear running at sea. And when you're 800 feet underwater with no communication, you have to figure it out. And you have to trust that you will. This book is my truth, as I know it now. All I ask is that you keep your mind open. If I can teach you even one thing that saves your ass out to sea, my job is done. My time is worth it. Sailing is a lifelong learning experience. You don't need every gadget. You don't need a $500,000 boat. As a matter of fact, most of the people I know cruising around the world are on $100,000 boats, $150,000 boats. What you need is a mindset of adaptability, resourcefulness, and respect for the sea. Because the moment you start thinking you've got it all figured out, she'll smack you back into practicing your bowlines. That's what we're here to forge. That's what makes a confident captain. You've got the mindset, now let's build the skills to match. One day, your life or someone else's might depend on it.